We had a 5 a.m. flight to catch, so we woke up a little early. I enjoy being a passenger princess, by the way, and just sitting down and enjoying the views. We are approaching downtown Chicago. You can probably see one of the tallest buildings in the world, Willis Tower, with its 2 antennae on top. We finally made it to Park and Fly, where, as the name suggests, you park your car and take a shuttle to the airport to fly. Very convenient for only $9 per day. We made it just in time. We had a layover at Baltimore Washington Airport, also known as BWI. We had to quickly rush to our departure gate. Probably one of the best airports. They even have a lot of food stations, shopping stores, gym. They even had an observation gallery where you could see spacecraft. It was a magical experience. Of the airports serving the Washington, D.C. area, BWI is the area's largest and is Southwest's largest hub on the East Coast. We arrived at our final destination, Portland, Maine. They actually call it a jet port instead of an airport to promote the idea of jet travel, since propeller planes were a thing of the past. I don't know how they ended up putting a moose near the baggage claim. That was an interesting view. Hopefully we won't hit one of these on the highway because they do a lot of damage to cars, especially in the fall when we are visiting. Was at Luke's Lobster because we were starving. You pick your own live lobster and they cook it for you. We then went to the iconic LL Bean to get winter gears because Maine is another level of cold. LL Bean was a famous Maine brand that's been around for over 100 years. Their quality and consistency has been world renowned. After a long day, we had pizza at Gerard's, and then that was the end of our first day in Maine. For day 2, we woke up a little late. Of course, we were very, very tired. We drove to Godner, Maine downtown for breakfast. The first cafe was too packed. We then went to the second one, which was Christmas ready, and this is only early November. The decor reminded me of a British tea house parties. They had board games. It was just beautiful. I had an everything bagel and coffee. We then drove along the Kennebec River Rail Trail, which is where they used to transport ice to Europe back in the days before refrigerators.
Reds here, that's the most famous lobster roll. And see these places that say lobster? They're just the overflow. People will stand in line for 3 hours to get
Oh wow.
Reds lobster. And it's a whole.
We finally made it to Booth Bay Harbor, which is a popular summer destination as you can swim in the Atlantic Ocean. There are several small shops and restaurants in Booth Bay Harbor, but at this time of year, many of them are closed. However, we did find a nice shop to walk around, and we also found lovely views of the harbor and the Atlantic Ocean. And it's very Christmassy here in Booth Bay Harbor this time of year. So, again, we enjoyed the views and the shops that were open. Again, best time to come here is during the summer. We then arrived in Damariscotta, Maine, which is the next peninsula over from Booth Bay Harbor. It is also home to the original Rennie's, which is a Maine adventure. In Damariscotta, there are actually 2 Rennie's. One is for clothing and the other one is their traditional merchandise. Damariscotta, just like Booth Bay Harbor, is more of a summer destination. However, more shops were open in Damariscotta. Damariscotta, very beautiful, quaint, and it is a Maine adventure. Despite the beautiful views in Damariscotta, it is sometimes awkward to record myself here on YouTube. These benches here were placed memoriam of some of the select women who have died in Damariscotta. Look at the view over the bay. The sunset is amazing. We are now leaving the coast in Damariscotta. See you back in Gardner, Maine on day 3. We are on our way to a rally in downtown Augusta, Maine. On the way to Augusta, we are going to pass by some favorite landmarks, including the state capitol, the governor's mansion, and several of the parks and official buildings for the state of Maine.
Of starting this rally off this way, so thank you again. Before we get started, however, I wanted to ask for 18 seconds of silence for the 18 victims of the shooting in Lewiston on October 25th. I'll read their names now. Ronald Morin, Peyton Brewer Ross, Joshua Seal, Brian McFarland, Joseph Lawrence Walker, Arthur Fred Strout, Max Hathaway, Stephen Vazella, Thomas Ryan Conrad, Michael Delorier II, Jason Adam, Tricia Aslan, William Young and Aaron Young, Robert Violet and Lucille Violet, William Frank, Keith McNear, how many sons?
Yeah.
shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
Good morning. We had just finished breakfast here at the A1 Diner, which is an iconic diner here in Gardner, Maine. Now we are off to the airport, up the 295 and off to Portland Airport. Goodbye, Maine. It was nice to see you. Most people visit in the summertime, but coming into Maine in mid-November is a nice time to come, especially to see fall foliage and to avoid the crowds. Portland, Maine is not only served by Southwest, but by Delta, United, American Airlines, Frontier Airlines, and JetBlue.
Windows, aisles, and bag space.
Our flight has arrived from Baltimore, and now we'll be on our way soon back to BWI, and then on to Chicago
bag
Midway.
space, or seats together.
We are cleared for departure, and we will see the sunset over southern Maine and northern New Hampshire. Welcome to Baltimore, or BWI, and a beautiful nighttime landing. Soon we will be having dinner here during our layover. Another fun fact about BWI, they have some of the best restrooms of all the airports in the United States. They were rated best restrooms again in 2023. Some of the restaurants have local food and are amazing. Please check them out. We're flying back to Midway out of gate C9 today. Southwest operates out of concourses A, B, and C at BWI. Now we're on the jet bridge heading back to our flight to Chicago. Now arriving Chicago Midway at the baggage carousel.